2020 was a crazy year, but you learned about genetic genealogy primarily from this guide. So today we're going to talk about the top 10 videos that we released on the Family History Fanatics channel in 2021.
The top DNA videos.
What did I say?
The top videos.
Okay. Now, I haven't shared this list of top 10 DNA videos with Andy yet, so he'll be surprised right along with you. Now, there is one little bit of caveat, okay? So it takes about a full month for videos to get the view count that it's going to get mostly. But if you stick around, there's a bonus video that we're going to talk about that just keeps performing. So what that means is that last year's genealogy vlogmas from, actually last year's.
Last year's. Oh, like 2019.
Yes.
So we're going to have some 2019 videos on here.
The cutoff is it has to have been released by December 1st, 2019.
Okay.
That because the December videos will never rank in the top 20 if we don't do that. So if you do see a 2019 video,
it's okay.
It's okay. Now, the links to all of the videos, in case you missed them, are going to be where?
Hopefully in the description right down below, but yeah. I don't know.
Yes.
You're the one that sets that up, so.
It'll be in the description box.
Maybe up here. Look over there.
All right, let's get to it. So the number 10, it is...
The Living DNA, Your Ancestry Review. Yeah, so this was one that finally got done because Living DNA, I want to say got their act together, but they got something that you can actually do genealogy with, not just a DNA test.
Give a little bit of backstory.
Well, Living DNA had been around since, 2016, 2017, mm-hmm. and lots of people had requested it, but I'd held off because they didn't have any kind of matching yet, and really all you had was the DNA ethnicity test, and there's lots of companies that do just that, and I try not to review those. So once they actually got their matching, and it wasn't a whole lot to begin with, but they've improved that a lot in the last while, then now you can actually look at them and compare them with some of the other genetic genealogy companies.
Yeah. We also held off because we hoped that they would fix their German ethnicity.
Oh, yeah.
But I haven't looked there in a while. But it is what it is. Who knows? Andy will be doing an update on a lot of companies in January. So be sure to check our YouTube channel for those updates. Number 9.
I like all these road ones. Is this like all road painted signs, or did you have something else?
I have other ones.
Okay.
Now, these signs are from Pixabay. It is a free, royalty-free stock images website. So if you ever need images for a project, a family history project, you can find them there. So, yeah, they started out on the road and then they changed a bit. So, number 9, the DNA Leeds method how-to. Now, this was the first video. There's actually 2.
Okay.
But tell us about that one.
So there's only 2 videos on this?
There was just 2 videos.
Oh, okay.
People have asked that you do DNA Leeds method with MyHeritage, DNA Leeds methods with 23andMe, and so on and so forth. And it is queued up for you to do.
Yeah. So I can't remember did I use GEDmatch for this one?
I don't remember.
You don't remember either?
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, I
think it was Ancestry.
I might have
primarily.
used Ancestry. No, I think this one I probably actually used lots of them because I have different examples through it. But yeah, the Leeds method is a real quick way that you can divide up your matches into grandparents, basically, which matches go with which grandparents. And so this is one that I talk about in lots of classes. And if you want a quick mini class, these 2 videos will give you a quick mini class on how to do that. Now, if you're savvy enough with spreadsheets, you might just pick up right on it and be able to go. And if not, it's okay, because it'll give you some ideas so that when you're maybe taking a full class from me or somebody else, then you've at least got a little bit of a background to know what we're talking about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, before we go to number 8, Andy gets asked some questions all the time. Would you agree?
Yep.
And we check the 5 most common DNA questions when you stick it in a free guide. Now, we might be updating this for 2021 so that he can stop answering the same questions over and over. And it's okay that you have questions. He just doesn't like answering the same question because he really likes your challenging questions. So be sure you keep throwing out tough, difficult, challenging questions to him. And then I also want to invite you to subscribe to our channel and make sure you hit the little bell right next to it. And the reason why you hit the bell, he's trying to figure out where the bell is.
Because it's like flipped and everything, so it's in one of those corners.
It's right beside the subscribe button. The reason
Which
why
is
you
somewhere
want
down there
to click the bell is because Andy does DNA lives on YouTube, and you will want to know when that he goes live, and you can ask your questions there. And then we've also have a book. Be sure to check out the link in the description below. It is actually an expansion of his most common questions here on YouTube. They're not always easy. Would you agree? There was several interesting ones in that book.
Yeah, there are. And we need to make a follow-up to that book with a lot more questions we've had over the last 2 years. So.
Right. We might have to use our data mining video to make that easier for me. All right, number 8, not a road sign.
Is that a tile or a...
It's a fish.
Something in a stucco wall, looks like?
It's a fish with an 8 on it.
Okay.
I thought it was cool. All right, here you go. Now, this one was from that Vlogmas from 2019.
Oh, so we'll see if the companion to this one is in this list also. Maternal haplogroups, that's what you get from your mitochondrial DNA. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a misconception where a lot of people think that, if my mitochondrial DNA is from whatever country, then I must be from that country. And, your mother's, it's one single line. It's just one line. There's lots of other relatives within that group. So,
mm-hmm. Yep. And if you want to know if he recommends taking a mitochondrial DNA test, you have to watch the video. Number 7.
What about 8? Oh, that was 8. 8 was the fish.
That was 8.
So you got 2 tiles in a row. You had 2 roads in a row, 2 tiles in a row.
It was not planned, I promise.
Oh, well, maybe you got this thing going and you just don't realize it.
Now, occasionally I do DNA, but I'm the Debbie Downer of DNA because I haven't always had much success, and I just don't think in his engineering puzzles problem-solving way. I'd much rather be in records and be in writing, but somebody asked, hey, what should you do about linking cousins on the Ancestry DNA website?
Whoa. You said I do all the DNA. This is number 7. You beat out 3 of my videos.
Yeah, that's probably the only one I released last year. No, I did the MyHeritage Theories of Family Relativity, and that didn't get watched very much. So I thought that was a clue. Don't release any videos. But he said, hey, I'm not as familiar with Ancestry and this linking. Will you do it for me? So I did. And I don't actually have... You'll have to watch my videos to find out what I think about the linking. There's some good, there's some bad, and I'm just going to tell you what I think, and it's okay if you disagree.
But you're on the list.
I did make it on the list. I'm proud. All right, not a road sign, not a tile.
So we got a die. So everybody take a guess what number 5 is going to be then. Something with porcelain or plastic or something. Maybe a key on a keyboard.
I really didn't plan this out. There were not a lot of options. And that's why I had to go with a dice rather than a number, because I couldn't find a number. That was royalty free. Anyway.
So there's no 6 royalty-free images out there. If you want to be famous, create a royalty-free image of the number 6, and you will be a famous. Everybody will use it.
All right. Now, we like to make thumbnails that attract your attention. And so this has false results, and the title of the video was, Can My DNA Test Be Wrong? Now, this is the most recent one that has been released. This was a November release, November 2020.
I was going to say that false results is a big hit, because I think one of our other videos overall, as far as the most watched, is something else about false results that's like 5 years old.
Yes.
Crappy videoing, editing, all that stuff,
Lighting
bad
so
sound,
bad
lighting, yet, it's got more views than anything else on our channel, I think.
So it pays to update some of that old content.
Yeah. So I think this is one of another one of these misconceptions that people have, is that they see it and it's not what they expect, so they assume that it's wrong. And I go through the different ways where it could be wrong, but also the different ways it's probably right.
And so I think from here, or maybe in this string of videos that he had, Andy began his phrase, "It depends." All right, number 4.
This is a sign on a post, so there might be something, good for another sign, or like a license plate for number 3 or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, what's good about number 4?
Number 4 is 5 ways to filter your DNA matches. Now, this is one of the big changes that happened in 2020 was that we stopped doing green screen. And I know green screen is kind of fun. Like, as a presenter, it's really fun. Unfortunately, we just don't ever have the room or capacity to make it look really good. And the other thing is, he always looks good and I always look like garbage because of my hair and my skin color. Like, he has the camera skin colors and mine just always like orange or whatever.
I should have gone to Hollywood.
I don't know that you care about that. So let's talk about the 5 DNA filtering. So it was basically a concept video,
yes,
right?
It was a concept. So this is actually something you can use on no matter which website you have. Basically, you have these thousands of matches. So which ones are you going to focus on? Now, obviously, the higher number ones is one, but I also give you 4 other ways to actually filter your matches to have different ways to focus on your research. Mm-hmm. And you have to watch the video to find out what they are.
Good. All right, number 3.
You know what? I think you finally ruined it because you're not following the double things.
I didn't know I was
You should have done a license plate or an address on a house or something.
Again.
Something with a metal thing, but now we got this billiard. This would have been good with the dice.
Probably.
Because dice and billiard balls are sort of made out of the same thing sometimes, maybe.
I'm not going to say it again. All right, so this was another one from 2019 Genealogy Vlogmas.
Google. Oh, yeah, I like this one.
Why?
Why do I like this one? Well, I was wanting just a quick way to, see how different people might be related. And I remember, seeing like the different org charts or something. I'm like, I bet you Google
charts?
Org charts, yeah.
Organization
charts.
Thank you.
What did you think I said?
I'm hearing impaired. You can say a lot of things.
So anyway, I remember thinking, Google Sheets probably does this. And so I figured out how to make an org chart on Google Sheets. And basically you just, make this list of the people and who their parent is and do the org chart, and it shows you. And so that way you can see, okay, so which one's the first cousin level, which one's the third cousin. And it's great when you have multiple generations. I think in here, is this the one that I do the example with Abraham Lincoln's family?
Potentially.
And that's like spread out it's like through 7 generations, and it's spread out through, half a dozen kids or whatever. It's actually pretty amazing to actually see it. So I like it.
Yeah. But people keep asking the same question over and over again. Well, I needed to do all of these things and put all this data in. And the point of this video was quick.
And it does one thing, and it does one thing pretty good. It does not do 2 things. It does not do 3 things, and you better not ask it to do 4 things. One thing.
So if you want to build your tree, then we have videos on how to build a tree on MyHeritage, Find My Past, Family Search, and Ancestry. That's where you need to build your tree. And hopefully in 2021, Roots Magic 8 will come out, and I'll release videos about that. So if you want to build your tree, you don't use this. But if you need something quick, then that's the video for you. Now, one of the videos you didn't make this year was about Ancestry cutting off the small center organs.
I thought we talked about that in one of our live streams.
Ah, there you go.
I thought that was like a live stream thing that we went through why they were doing that.
And that's why you have to watch the live streams, because you never know what we're going to cover. But let's give the short version, because I don't know which video it is.
Well, they cut off a bunch of the small segments below 8 centimorgans or something like that. Or if they had some criteria, but basically what it is as you get to smaller and smaller segments, there's a higher and higher likelihood that they are false segments. Now, that does not mean that they are all false segments, but it means that they're more than likely false segments. And so as a way to cull the wheat from the chaff, then that's what they did.
Chafe? I thought it was chaff.
Chaff, I don't know.
Let us know in the comments.
The wheat, it's the tares. It's not even the chaff or the chafe.
I still want to know how people say it.
Chafe or chaff?
Anyway. Now, as a follow-up, there will be videos about small segments and false matches that are in our archive. So be sure to check those out. Number 2. Andy likes to do tutorials on GEDmatch, and this was your new most popular one.
Ah, yes. This is a new tool that GEDmatch released.
Yeah.
About basically combining your DNA with your GEDCOM files to identify common ancestors from it.
So, which DNA company is the best 2020 edition?
Yep, and I released that in January, and I'm releasing another one this January that's an update to it. So,
and are the winners the same?
I'm not going to tell you, because if I told you, then you wouldn't need to watch the video.
Right.
Um,
So let the controversy and the gnashing of teeth begin. But hey, did you know I have a bonus one?
Oh, so we got 11 instead of 16.
Not really an 11. This one is astronomically the most popular video on our channel. This is the one he was referencing earlier. It is our ethnicity results, what you think they are, or some other title. Check the link in the description for what it really is.
Now, this was the one from like 5 years ago or whatever, or 4 years ago.
And it has over 300,000 views total. We get comments on this video every day. So we have kind of cut off responding to people on this one. If you are a channel member and you respond to this video, we will respond to you. So yes, on that video, because it is so old and we really want you to watch some of the new videos, then we have to cut off Andy's time sometime, because he does have a full-time job. So why do you think this one is so big? I
think because it appeals to everybody, because their results are wrong. That's what they always say.
Absolutely. All right, so what were your favorite DNA videos of 2020? Let us know in the comments section. Now, were you surprised by any of the ones that made the list?
I don't know that I was surprised by any of them.
Or was there?
But then again, I don't think about it, so.
Was there anyone that you really liked making that didn't make the list?
I like all the oddball ones. Like, what was the one that somebody had asked? And I can't remember if it was this year or last year, but what would... Oh, I know, the incest one. I know, that's like, why is that your favorite? You're like, weird, you need to go to a...
Incest one? What are you talking about?
Well, it's like, if you married your cousin
that one continues to get comments all of the time.
Yeah, it's like oddball things that force me to go and actually take a look at some different DNA patterns of how things would go. Yeah, it's not like I'm in favor of incest or anything like this. It's just that...
Just so you know, it's called Is Marrying Your Second Cousin Bad?
Is Marrying Your Second Cousin Bad? There.
Mm-hmm.
See?
The incest one. We do get quite a few comments like that all of the time. Now, you also did an adoptee series.
I did. That was with, what was the company? The DNA adoption website. That I talked with them and said, hey, do you mind if I take your stuff and make a video for it to help explain stuff? And they said, sure. So I did.
Yep. Now, I know some of our fans really like the fact that you did oddballs. Speaking of oddballs, in the 2020 Vlogmas, there was the dog DNA one.
Oh, yeah, dog DNA.
And can Ancestry tell you genetically if you're related to a celebrity?
That was good because you got pictures of some of my favorites.
Oh, who might those be?
Well, Scarlett, Kate, Did you have any others?
Well,
I know you tried to.
Over on the blog, I had Harrison Ford.
Oh, okay.
Which reminds me, if you haven't signed up or checked out our blogs, there are some DNA blog posts over there, and check it out. All right, so that's our wrap of the top 10 videos of 2020 for DNA. If you want to watch the video that has the top 10 genealogy videos for 2020, be sure to check the video that's going to cover one of our faces. And then if you want to see the big changes that are taking place on our YouTube channel, there's another video covering up our face, and you need to go watch that one there.